Then Moses led Israel from the Red Sea, and they went into the desert of Shur. For 3 days they traveled in the desert without finding water. When they came to Marah, they could not drink its water because it was bitter. That is why the place is called Marah. So the people grumbled against Moses, saying, "What are we to drink?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a piece of wood. He threw it into the water, and the water became fit to drink. There the Lord issued a ruling and instruction for them and put them to the test. He said, "If you listen carefully to the Lord your God and do what is right in his eyes, if you pay attention to his commands and keep all his decrees, I will not bring on you any of this disease I brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you." Then they came to Elim, where they were in 12 springs and 70 palms, and they camped there near the water. So again, looking at this story, like, I'll be honest, I've totally judged the Israelites so many times. Like, you just came through the Red Sea. Like, God could not have shown up in a bigger way for you right then. He parted waters for you to walk through, just like the song that we sang at the beginning today said. He makes highways where there are seas. That's what he just did for you. And now you're complaining? But in humanity, if you think about the scenario, so they've been walking in the desert for 3 days with no water. The human body can't last too long without water. And so there gets to be like this state of desperation that happens. And you think like, oh my gosh, I could die. If we don't find water soon, we're going to die. And, later in that passage, they start grumbling to Moses, like, did you bring us out here so that we could die because there weren't enough graves in Egypt? So they're getting really panicked. That instance happened to be about their lack of meat at the time. So there was always something that God was testing them in. But as we see in this example, he absolutely brought to them what they needed at just the right moment when they were at their most desperate. Point number 2. Often it's the last set at the point of feeling our weakest that counts the most. Had Israel gone through with the threats they were making about returning to Egypt, they would have completely missed out on their future. They would have been back in slavery. But it's when we push through, when we feel like we're in desperation, we're at our weakest point, that God comes through and then he says, okay, we can keep going. Clients used to complain through my workouts. I have some of them watching right now, and you're laughing because you know it. They would whine like, oh, we have to do another set. Oh, you're taking the weights up. But I always kept pushing them because I knew what they were capable of. And again, I was trying to see them through to their potential, not their in-the-moment circumstance. Point 3. Challenge keeps us humble. We don't like that, but it's true. We don't want the challenge to have to be what keeps us humble. But the truth is we have to accept